and welcome to this week's session of Trails to Tasting, where we are going to be using these amazing little fruits and berries here to be creating a lip pucker just for fall, which is the first time that I will be making shots on Trails to Tasting. So these can be really fun as full cocktails, or you can have them as mini little shots. The flavor goes perfectly with that, and it's kind of a fun little way to celebrate the start of the fall and the end of summer, is to feel like you're hanging on to those last little vestiges of summer and enjoying all of the bounty that there is around us. So let's figure out how to identify this plant, which is an autumn olive, not actually an olive at all. So let's figure this out. All right, the autumn olive here is alternately arranged with the leaves. You can see that you have one and then another on alternate sides. You also can see with the leaves that there's almost a silver speckling to the top of the leaf, and the underside of the leaf is all silver. This is different from normal, like a Russian olive, because they can be silver or bronze, while the autumn olive is just silver speckles. The fruits start to ripen come late August to early September, and you can see here the ones at the bottom are more of an orangey color with the silver speckles. Those probably aren't as ripe as the ones that are real juicy and red, but you can definitely see that they are reddish with silver speckles. The fruits here are very easy to harvest. You just touch them and they kind of just fall off in your hand. And we are going to be using these little guys to make a simple syrup. The flavor, if you eat one raw, can be a very sweet, tart sort of flavor, very sugary, and then it's going to make your lips go, tart, tart, but it's absolutely delicious. But when added with sugar, which is why we're going to be making simple syrup with this, simple syrups have a lot of sugar in it, it will only be that beautiful, rich, vibrant fall flavor that's just sweet and not astringent at all. For this cocktail, you're going to want to fill them in a jar here and fill about half your container. Remember that you always want more than you think you're going to for a simple syrup. It takes a lot of fruit juices to make a simple syrup. And now, while these cocktails are only going to be shots, so you don't need too much of it, maybe you still want to use them for something else. So fill a clear container about halfway full. I'm using this little pint ball jar. So I've got my berries. We're going to make the simple syrup out of these. And with an autumn olive, I always say to be very conscientious about foraging etiquette. We want to leave things for wildlife. However, as an invasive species, this was brought over from Asia to act as wildlife habitat, funnily enough. And then ecologists realized, oh, that was a huge mistake. This is an aggressive spreader, takes over the native habitat, and kind of ruins ecosystems. So feel free to way over harvest these. But because these can also be eaten raw, keep in mind that these do have some pretty chunky seeds. If you're going to be spitting the seeds out, bring a container along with you to spit instead of spitting directly on the ground, and that might allow seeds to spread and you're going to make the invasives keep growing. So just bring a little container if you're going to be eating them raw. Also, if you're looking for various ways to incorporate them into different recipes, these make flavor-wise a really good raspberry substitute. So if you're going to the grocery store, can't find raspberries or they're a little expensive, these guys are free, they're everywhere, and you can't over-harvest. All right, now that we have our autumn olive simple syrup, we can make our cocktail. Or we can make a set of shots, which is what I'm going to be doing. But you can feel free to drink this all as one cocktail, or you can make limeade using the lime juice that we're going to use for the cocktail without any alcohol, and it'll be just as delicious. But one thing that I find interesting about autumn olive here is that you can really see the separation. And this is caused by a chemical that is found in the skin of the autumn olive called lycopene, which is also in tomatoes. So if you notice this separation when you make your simple syrup, that's totally okay. Make sure that it's kept, and we're just going to shake it just a little bit. To make the cocktail though, you're going to want 1 ounce of tequila and then ½ ounce of these bad boys. Then mix it all together in your shaker with an ice cube, pop it in, and you're set. Ooh, that's definitely more than a shot, but that's okay. Let's check it out. Oh, wow. So when you have autumn olive raw, when you eat it, what will happen is it'll be absolutely delicious, and then you'll eat it, and boom, all of a sudden, there will be no saliva in your mouth. You will be completely dry-mouthed for a fraction of a second, and then you'll be good. And so I'm kind of expecting this astringent flavor with the vibrancy and fruitiness of the autumn olive, but because we made it a simple syrup, that side effect is completely gone. So this is just absolutely fantastic. No dry mouth, you just get the great flavor. Did you really enjoy this Trails to Tasting series? I definitely enjoyed today's session. Autumn olive is one of my favorite fall wild edibles. Not a lot of people know about it. It's delicious, and you can do so much cool stuff with it. So if you want to stay tuned for more foraging goodness, any other The Art of Ecology stuff, you can subscribe right here, and stay tuned for more. Next week's going to be a good one too. These mosquitoes, yo.